morning, children. The chapter we are doing is plant reproduction, and from this chapter today we will do germination and dispersal of seeds. Now the first one is germination. Now what is germination? Germination, it is a process by which a seed produces a new plant, or a seed grows into a new plant, and that new plant or the young plant is called seedlings. Now all the seeds will not germinate. So what are the favorable conditions for the seeds to germinate? So if you see the conditions, then there are three conditions which the seeds needed to germinate, and they are air, water and warmth, sunlight. Okay, so this air, actually, you know, seeds actually they are also living organisms, so they need air which helps them to breathe, and they need water also. You know why? Because you have already learned the different parts of a seed, where the outermost covering of a seed is called seed coat, and that seed coat is hard, right? So once the seed absorbs water, then that seed coat will become soft and it will break open, which will help the baby plant or the embryo which is inside the seed to sprout. And the third one is the warmth or the sunlight. So this warmth will help the cells of the seeds to be active, so that they will help them to divide. That's why seeds, they need the three favorable conditions, that is air, water and warmth, to germinate. Now if you see the stages of germination, then there are about 4 stages of germination of a seed. Now in the first case, what happens once the seed absorbs water? Right here, once the seed absorbs water, then the seed, they will seed coat, they will become soft. The seed coat will become soft, and the cells, the baby plant which is inside the seed, will start to divide and they will increase in size. Then after that, once the seed coat becomes soft, then the seed coat will break open, and the radicle, which is also called, which is actually the future root of a plant, that radicle comes out, okay, and it will start to grow downwards, because radicle, it is the future root. So root usually grows downwards. Then after that, in the next stage, the plumule comes out from the seed. Plumule means another green shoot, which is the future stem actually, okay, and this plumule started to grow upwards, and later on this plumule will produce stem and leaves. Now you know, children, living things, they cannot live without food. So since seeds are also living things, means who will supply seed the food in absence of the leaf? It is the cotyledon. So in absence of the leaf, the cotyledon will provide food for the seed. But once the seed germinates, once the radicle and the plumule comes out from the seed, then the plumule will produce leaves and the stem. So once the seed has a small leaves, then that small leaves, you know the function of the leaves, they will start preparing food for the plant. So then that plant is called seedlings. So once the plant has the small leaves, then once they start preparing food for the plant, they don't need cotyledon. So the cotyledon will become dry and fall off. So in that way, the seed germinates into a young plant called seedling. So I just want you to show the germination which I have done. I don't know whether you'll see it or not. So this is how the seed germinates actually. This is the germination. See, you can see this one is radicle, which is growing downwards, alright, and the plumule, which is the future shoot, will started to grow upwards, and it has a small leaves, started growing it, and finally it will look like this. See, this is how the seed germinates into a young plant. You can see the small leaves growing from the shoot, and this is the radicle. Then these leaves will start preparing food for the plant. So this is how this germination of seed takes place. Alright. So children, in your book also there is an activity on page 59, and I just want all of you to do that activity. Like, it's for fun also, because science is real. So it's very important for all of you to see the things in real. It is an opportunity also. So what you need to do is, you need to take 4 bowls, 1, 2, 3, 4, and mark it as bowl A, B, C and D. Okay. Then in the first bowl, you just put this, and you need cotton cloth also. One cotton cloth, a dry one, and the other one, the moist, wet one. So in the first bowl, what you will do is keep the seed in a dry cotton cloth and keep that inside this bowl. Then bowl A, just keep it inside the refrigerator for a few days, just to observe. Alright. And in bowl B, what you will do is keep a dry cotton cloth and keep a seed in that dry cotton cloth, and keep that bowl in the dry, warm place. Warm place, but it has to be dry, without water. Then in the third bowl, bowl C, soak the seed completely in water and leave it like that. Then in the fourth bowl, bowl D, in the moist cotton cloth, keep a seed and put it, keep that bowl in the dry, warm place, but you have to sprinkle water, or put water in that seed. Sprinkle the water regularly in that seed. And you can see after a few days, you can see which seed will germinate. Then you will come to know the conditions also, and you can see the germination of seed also, and that is also fun and knowledgeable. Alright, so this is about germination. Now the next part is the seed dispersal. Seed dispersal. Now you know children, plants are fixed. They cannot move. They are fixed in one place. Alright. So what happens? Since they are fixed in one place, so if the seeds of the plants fall near the parent plant, then what will happen? All the seeds will not germinate, because you can see the number of seeds also. Isn't it? Hundreds of seeds will fall near the parent plant. Then there is a fight amongst them for space, for water, for air and for warmth. So what happens? The healthy seed, they will germinate, but the weak ones will die. So in order to germinate all the seeds, it is very necessary for the seeds to be dispersed. So what is seed dispersal? Seed dispersal is the scattering of seeds away from the parent plant is called seed dispersal. But who will disperse the seeds? Now, to disperse the seeds, there are 4 natural agents. Okay, they will help to disperse the seeds, and they are wind, water, animals and fruit explosion. Now, the first one is wind. Now, what type of seed is dispersed by the wind? The seeds which are to be dispersed by the wind, it has to be small and light. Only the light and the small seeds can be carried away, blown away by the wind. So, the examples of such seeds are seeds of dandelion. It has a fine hair-like structures which act like a parachute. And when they are blown away by the wind, these parachute will help them to float in the wind actually. Okay. And the second example of such seeds are maple seeds. Maple seeds, they have a winged-like structure which will help them to float in the wind when they are carried away by the wind. Then the next agent is water. Now, water will disperse the seeds of those plants which will grow in water or which will grow near the water, So, the seeds must be spongy, or it must have a fibrous outer covering which will help the seeds to float in water. So this type of seeds will be dispersed by water. So the examples of such seeds are coconut seeds and lotus. So the fruits, spongy fruits of lotus and the outermost covering of the coconut will help the seed to easily float in water. So in that way they will be carried away, far away from the parent plant, and they will germinate by getting enough of space, air, warmth, isn't it, and water. Then the next agent are animals. Now animals, birds and human beings, they will disperse the seeds. How? They will eat the fruit and throw away the seeds, and from the seeds the new plants will grow. Now sometimes some of the animals or the birds, they will swallow the fruit along with the seeds, and in that case the seeds will excrete in the droppings undigested, and that's from that seed the new plant will grow. All right, and in other cases, like the seeds have some common features, like some of the seeds they have a hook-like structures, some of the seeds have spine-like structures. So while the animal moves from one place to the other place, these seeds, they cling themselves to the body of the animals. In that way they will be carried far away from their parent plant. All right. Then the last agent for the seed dispersal is fruit explosion. So some of the fruits of the pod plants like peas, beans, they will get explosed, okay, explosed, and they will get dry and they will get explosed, and the seeds will scatter away in all the directions. So in this way the seeds will be scattered or dispersed by these 4 agents. All right. So thank you, children.